Chi volunteers assist a severe scoliosis patient and accompany her to undergo treatment. TIMA volunteers go into communities to give physical and mental support to patients in Penang. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Maggie Tsai. Thank you for joining us. In July this year, Tzu Chi volunteers from China worked with another charity organization to conduct scoliosis exams in Qinghai for Tibetans. Among them is Cicheng Bacang, who has severe scoliosis. She is 32 this year and is only 123 centimeters tall. Tzu Chi volunteers accompany her to the hospital to ensure she's well taken care of during her medical treatment.
是不是第一次出门走这么远的路？开不开心？开心不了，开心哦！
Suffering from severe scoliosis, 32-year-old Cicheng Bacang is only 123 centimeters tall. She's been monastic since she was young as a way of survival.
The local medical services are limited when they have major ailments such as this. Families don't know where to turn to, and without much money, they don't have the ability to pay for medical care. So at least if they are in the monastery, they can receive some blessings.
As she continues to age, her back becomes more and more hunched over and has no choice but to return home to continue her cultivation. Tzu Chi volunteers help her to Chengdu to seek treatment. However, before she begins treatment, they take her on a trip to experience the city life.
只要1分多钟就到了一个站，1分钟就这个站。
Her eyes take in all the wonder the city has to offer.
他也没有这样开心过。哎呀，哦，他没，他这个今天特别好高兴哦。
With medical expense supported by a charity organization and the companionship of Tzu Chi, Cicheng Bacang is ready to welcome her new life.
My mother is home feeling bad. She wants to be here with me, but she cannot, so she feels bad.
Her mom was worried. I totally understand. So today we are here to stay with her, and she's very happy. She's feeling secure and very free. She's also encouraging herself to be brave, and we are here to support her.
Next phase of the treatment is the stretching of her spine. Thus, she must do rehabilitation exercises each day to increase her lung capacity. She also doesn't forget to call her mother at home.
妈妈眼睛看不见，说这个说这怎么动？哦，这句话听懂了。请放心，我们这里有很多的师姑都会照顾她，会爱她的，因为我们是一家人，分担分享彼此的人生。听没得？听没得？
In 2002, Tzu Chi established an affinity with Rose Hill Special School in New Zealand by helping them to build a playground. They meet again 17 years later. This time, Tzu Chi donated a special chair to the school, which can comfort special children's emotion.
Everyone is excited to sit on the protestant seat and puff chair. It looks like a lazy couch, but for special children, it has a soothing effect. Since it is expensive, Chi-Chi's donation relieves some of the financial burden on the school.
We have one in the school already, but it's very expensive, so we can't afford to get another one.
In fact, these special children have a feature. That is, they don't like to interact with people. This chair will let you have the feeling of being wrapped, just like someone is hugging you, but there is still a layer separating you from others, which makes them feel safe.
Actually, this is not the first time for Qinghai and Rosehill Special School to meet each other. Their affinity was established 17 years ago.
Here's your symbol on the playground that you donated in 2002, so quite a long time ago. And you can still see it's in really good condition.
Both the playground as well as the protest and sit and puff chair will continue to accompany the students in their growth path. Staff and students sang a thank you song, expressing their gratitude and most sincere blessings to Qinghai.
Yang Chunkai is the 82 years old solitary senior. He has mobility issues and relies on financial aid for a living. His home was in disrepair and the roof is leaking. Tzu Chi volunteers went to care for him and motivated his niece to clean his house together.
发现个案的苦，真的很重点的，能够去帮助到他。
An 82-year-old solitary senior has been living in this simple and old house for many years without people visiting. He withers gradually along with the old house. Qinghai volunteers went there to clean the house for him thoroughly. They removed the moldy wooden door. Also, they transferred a second-hand bed frame there and then made the bed for him.
慢慢習慣㗎咪？習慣㗎。係啊，晾埋張床啊，晾埋。可以。你嗰陣時好多啊，係咪好舒服咁樣啊？係咪好舒服咧？撐緊入去啊？哦，咁佢係有風你嗰個。咁啊係啊，嗱嗱人哋拆咗窗後㗎，唔使封住啊。呢樣工要透得入來啊。曬喺度冇咁潮濕嘅。
Volunteers saw that the food hanging on the wall was spoiled already, yet the senior still used a plastic bowl to heat it. Volunteer has also prepared a stainless steel lunchbox and taught him how to use.
係就放啲水落去嚇，啲塑料就唔好用啦。
我能夠盡量給他有一個好。
We want to give him a better living environment.
我們希望的好。
雖然老人家老了，
Although he's old, he can still be moved if he's alive.
可以很感動。
The most important thing is to motivate his niece to care for him. His niece has already come to clean with us for many times.
你们做得很好了，真的。
不是我谈要这么多的人来帮他，我真的。
哎呀，不要这么讲了，大家都是乡里乡亲的，对吧？没有什么理我嘛，对吧？
如果不是你们感心哦，结果我都不会看他。 真的，這個是真的。
係你感動咗我哋？
唔係，係你感動咗我。
83 Kaohsiung and Taichung TIMA members and volunteers went to Genesis Social Welfare Foundation's Taichung branch to provide a free clinic for the PVS patients. Let's join them. Tourist bus came from Kaohsiung and is loaded with pipes and equipment. Volunteers moved them to Genesis Social Welfare Foundation's Taichung branch. The wire and pipes have to be installed high on the ceiling. The ground must be clear because many patients are coming in. Hearing the high-pitched noise of teeth cleaning, some of the PVS patients move their hands. Volunteers calm them tenderly to ease their nervousness.
This is the first time I saw a PVS patient personally. They actually still have consciousness. I really felt for them when seeing their condition.
I'm happy to be able to offer my help.
These young volunteers have experienced their first free clinic for PVS patients. They've learned from the TIMA doctors and volunteers from Kaohsiung and Taichung. Some bedridden patients have bed sores and we need to clean their wounds and treat their teeth. On top of this, the most important task is to keep the place clean.
Nobody wants to handle the dirty water. We hope to provide a safe and comfortable environment for them to work.
TIMA has been caring for patients in the Genesis Foundation's Taidong branch for 3 years.
The oral smell of patients and their gastrointestinal disease have gotten a lot better.
TIMA continues to care and safeguard these patients with mobility challenges. TIMA dentists from around Taiwan came together to hold a free clinic in a remote part of Taidong County. This was their first time at Ren'an Senior Citizens Home, and in the future, they will provide free dental services to more than 100 residents every 6 months.
Volunteers were pushing these physical and mentally challenged patients in wheelchairs, and for many, this was their first time receiving a dental treatment. Since this indigenous senior has a language barrier and dementia, she couldn't express her discomfort or feelings well. Thus, doctors and volunteers decided to check each tooth one by one.
42残根43蛀牙44蛀牙45残根
It is not only the indigenous senior, 118 residents from Ren'ai Senior Citizen Home also needed dental treatments. Due to the lack of medical services in Taidong area, these local residents have less opportunity to have good care for their teeth, which has severely damaged their oral health.
They never done any tooth cleaning and have a lot of calculus and cavities, so they have bad oral condition. We hope to come here and support them and to fulfill their needs. Today, we mainly conduct tooth cleaning and get their cavities filled.
Nearly 90 TIMA dentists from the North and East District conducted free dental service for the residents at Ren'ai Senior Citizen Home. This was their first time providing free dental service for them, as this opportunity came from Master Cheng Yan's long-term support for the Ren'ai Senior Citizen Home. She not only helped them remodel the building, but asked TIMA members to keep track of their physical and mental health.
Around May, we came to conduct some investigation here, so now we have this opportunity to volunteer today. Third floor is the area for treating severe patients, where we have more precision equipment, and we have our physicians and nurses standing by, preparing for the treatments. The second floor belongs to the wheelchair area, where people could move around freely.
Not only caring for the new group of residents at Ren'ai Senior Citizen Home, TIMA also provided free dental service for Taidong Genesis Social Welfare Foundation and Senshu Elderly Home since 2016, taking care of patients who typically lack medical attention.
Malaysia TIMA provides free clinics, health checkups, and also practice medical care in the communities. When the patients cannot reach the hospitals, TIMA volunteers go to their houses to provide the medical care as well as psychological support.
According to 2019 Annual Global Retirement Index, Malaysia places first in the best medical care category in the world. Despite that, there are still many underprivileged people in the country who need medical care in the forgotten corners.
Many care recipients have mobility issues or they lack transport. Therefore, they cannot go out to receive complete or continuous treatment.
In 2001, Malaysia TIMA has formally been established with the purpose of curing the illness, treating the patient, and healing the mind.
With the concept of hospitals without walls, we practice medicine in the communities. For instance, if a patient has been discharged from the hospital, but he still needs medical care, we will execute our community medical care. This way, our medical professionals can go help him at his house. Not only do we treat patients' wounds, we also help patients who have suffered a stroke or had a car accident. We've also discovered that many terminally ill cancer patients need psychological counseling. Therefore, we provide psychological care too.
The patient's feet were injured when she was pricked by plants with thorns 8 years ago. Her feet were infected and would not heal.
When we first contacted her, we were here because of her financial situation. Seeing the wound on her feet, we thought about TIMA's care.
Her blood circulation is poor, and her 2 feet have fibrosis veins, so the infected wound cannot be cured. We assess how much medicine she needs and make adjustments. The team who cares for her will go to the designated pharmacy to get the medications for her. Oftentimes, the hospitals are very busy, so the doctors and nurses cannot provide them with the important psychological support, mental support, and financial assistance. TIMA and Tzu Chi volunteers come to provide mental support, so her illness will heal soon.
For 6 years, TIMA doctors and Tzu Chi volunteers have provided care to her and helped treat her feet wound. Not only has her health condition improved, she has also become more optimistic and now even volunteers at the recycling station. The community medical care is made possible by the joint work of humane doctors and nurses. They've also provided a much-needed support to the sick and poor in the society.
In Penang, Malaysia, a young man Tan Chen Hao could not walk properly since he was young. Fortunately, he came into contact with Tzu Chi. TIMA helped him undergo corrective surgery at a hospital. Now that he's gradually recovering, he has volunteered to give back.
Finally, he's able to cross the doorstep of his house. For Tan Chen Hao, this is a big present after turning 23.
I hope I can stop using crutches by the beginning of next year. I want to learn to drive, and then I can drive my mother to go out to eat and shop. Then I will find a job so I can take care of my mother.
When Tan Chen Hao was little, he took medications for 5 years due to platelet abnormalities. The overdose in medication damaged his leg nerves, and therefore he could not walk since he was 5 years old. By the end of 2017, Tzu Chi volunteers referred Tan Chen Hao to a hospital in Kuala Lumpur to undergo corrective surgery.
Using a screw to straighten a bent bone, it is very painful.
I could not bear the pain, so I fainted. Despite the pain, I did not think of giving up.
To help Tan recover faster, TIMA arranged a physical therapist to go to his house and help him undergo rehabilitation.
His muscles have started to wither, so we need to put in efforts to strengthen his muscles.
For more than 2 years, Tzu Chi volunteers have continuously provided care and companionship.
Every time we come, we see his progress. I'm very happy. In fact, I still want him to work even harder because the doctor said the golden recovery period is very short.
After all, he seldom comes into contact with outside world. Besides helping him to exercise, we will chat with him and tell him about what is happening in society so he can get in touch with the society.
Tan, who has gradually recovered, started to volunteer and serve others.
I hope he can help other people. He can see that there are different problems people face in society. This is a good opportunity to get in contact with the outside world. I hope he can learn to walk soon and find a job.
Fortunately, Tan Chen Hao's family have met Tzu Chi volunteers and TIMA members who have brought hope to this family in need.
In Delhi, Taichung, 44-year-old Mrs. Chang was talented in painting. However, she began to have a blurry eyesight in her left eye 4 years ago and was diagnosed with a brain tumor. After undergoing 6 brain surgeries, she began to have epilepsy, but she fought her illness by continuing to paint. Her work has moved many people's hearts.
Mrs. Chang puts her head down and paints patiently. Due to her illness, she works harder than average people.
I have a weak eyesight in my left eye, so I rely on my right eye and I paint slowly.
4 years ago, she found she had blurry vision in her left eye, so she went to the hospital and was diagnosed with brain tumor that compressed her optic nerve.
I have a huge tumor right behind my eyes. It took 3 doctors to help me recover from my illness.
Due to undergo 6 brain surgeries, she began to have epileptic seizure.
One day when I was returning home, I fell down and I started to have a seizure.
Mrs. Cheng has a talent for paintings. She once worked for an advertising company and was also once a kindergarten teacher. After her illness, her husband worked abroad to share the financial burden for the family.
I can only convince myself that this is my destiny. It has been 4 years that I took care of her after her surgeries.
My husband hadn't returned home for 8 months. I had no money, but Tzu Chi, my parents in Lugang and Taichung, and many of my previous bosses sent me money.
Mrs. Cheng could get angry easily after she turned ill. She once blocked herself from the rest of the world. However, Tzu Chi volunteers opened her heart and cared for her.
Before I saw Tzu Chi volunteers, my heart felt very close to them, but it was hard for me to bring this up.
She, her husband, and their daughter opened up to us and let us join their life since they trust our team, which made us feel very touched.
Mrs. Cheng joined the charity art exhibition, sharing her favorite drawing. She portrayed her daughter's appearance in her young age.
My daughter always looks beautiful, no matter she was little or grown up. If I had money, I will also help Tzu Chi and many people like me. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Oh, I don't know how to describe it.
Mrs. Cheng chose to make good use of her life when facing her illness. She wishes to reciprocate the society through her paintings.
Reminding the sweet childhood memories for the seniors in the senior citizens class, to Kaohsiung, Cicheng guided them to make eco-friendly toys with recyclables. Many seniors enjoyed the games, and the Cichens also learned to be grateful through serving.
Turning discarded CDs and flyers into ring toss game, the seniors enjoy playing with the toys they made.
It's very interesting. It will remind you of your childhood. Very interesting.
I've never played this game before. Making this is fun and we use less waste.
The Cicheng from Kaohsiung, Wenzhou Ursuline University of Languages and Zhengqiu University are the senior caregivers of the day. Their mission is to guide the seniors to make their childhood toys.
I feel very happy to interact with grandpas and grandmas again today. When they are drawing, I found it very cute when seeing them looking at each other's works.
It was a lot of fun, and it's reminded them some of their childhood memories.
Besides making toys, volunteers also play ball games with the seniors, which is a good way for the seniors to exercise their bodies.
Teachers and students from Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology went to Thailand and joined the monthly free clinics for refugees. Take a look and see you next time.